Yo, what up, people? It's your boy, Mr. Rob Atchison, coming at you again. Another relationship tip. This one I want to kind of touch on 3 points as far as communication and basically barriers to communication. So I'm going to read them off, elaborate on all three. The first one is about vulnerability. Fellas, there is a certain level of vulnerability when a woman opens up and shares information with you. One of the worst things you can do is use that as ammo against her in an argument or when you get mad. Eventually, she'll shut down, stop confiding in you, and not want to speak. You're her man. She comes to you as an outlet for protection. Once that trust is betrayed, she'll begin to harbor things within, and in some cases start to feel alone because she no longer trusts bringing information to you or problems to you out of fear of you using it against her. No one wants to feel like they have to endure situations alone, especially when there are two of you in the relationship. Also unaware you may open up the door for her to seek another outlet. What people sometimes have a tendency to do is when you make me mad, you piss me off, I take what I can to try to win an argument. I throw jabs. And sometimes you take sensitive information that someone has trusted and you use it against them. The problem with that is that ultimately over a period of time, they don't want to tell you nothing. They don't want to speak to you. They don't want to put themselves out there because they don't want you throwing nothing back in their face as soon as you have one of your issues. What that ultimately does, it becomes a barrier to communication because now when I have an issue, I don't feel comfortable enough to bring it to you. I tell other people. So now you're in a relationship where everybody else know what's going on with your girl but you. So that's one barrier to communication, using what someone has told you or trusted to tell you as ammo. The second barrier to communication is realizing that you're partners, not opponents. An excessive need to always win or be right may begin to damage your relationship. Sometimes you have to ask yourself what's more important, proving a point or making peace. Sometimes you can't get so caught up in you versus them that you forget that at the end of the day it's you and them. What's more important, winning the battle or having peace in your relationship? When we get into our feelings, it's me versus you. I want to get my point across. I want to win this argument, and we're just throwing words back and forth. The problem with that is sometimes we take logic out of the situation. What is the bigger overall goal? Us coming to an agreement or me winning or you winning? So we just go back and forth. We throw words, we throw stones, and once the words are out, we can't take them back. So sometimes you just say, you know what? You just have to bite the bullet. Sometimes you just got to be like, I'm going to fall back. I know I'm right sometimes, and just say, you know what? I'm going to bite the bullet sometimes. Third point I want to touch on. Talk to each other, not at each other. Most people listen with the intent to reply rather than with the intent to understand. So most of what is said isn't heard because you're usually thinking of what to say to defend rather than listening to comprehend. Over a period of time, it may start to feel like your significant other doesn't understand you or where you're coming from. It's possible to have multiple arguments where you think you're getting your point across, but you're not because both people are so focused on their point that they never fully heard the other person. I would always, in certain situations, get an argument and people will be like, you just don't get it. And it took me a while to realize that I'm so focused on what I'm about to say next. What I'm trying to prove my point. I'm pleading. I'm not listening to understand them. I'm in defense mode. I gotta defend myself. I'm throwing them jabs. So it is possible for you to tell someone something over and over and over, and they just do not get it because they never truly heard your part. They were listening somewhat, but they were overly thinking about what they were going to respond and what they're going to say. All three of these things I named become barriers to communication. The vulnerability, and it's a vice versa. It's not just a dude taking what a female says and using it against her. Females, y'all can be wicked with them tongues, man. Y'all can really put a tongue lashing on a dude, and we get in our feeling. We prideful, so we gonna come back and we gonna say some hurtful, disrespectful stuff. But you have to just look at what's the overall goal. We are trying to work it out. We have to find a better way of communication. I will be honest. I ain't the best communicator sometimes. I'm growing. I'm learning just like anybody else. So these are things I've realized over a period of time have been barriers to communication. So hope y'all like them or it can relate, can whatever. Give some feedback, share, like, comment, all that other good stuff. Y'all enjoy your night. I'm gone.